All right, we're going to continue with one-step equations with integers. Now, this is a recap from the previous day. Now, what we want to do here is make sure that we know what to do. So on number one, we're just going to add 10 to both sides, right? Add 10 to both sides. 10 minus 10 is 0. 10 minus 9 is 1. Bring down your variable. V is equal to 1. And that is your answer. Now let's do 5. If I'm going too fast, that's all right, just pause. So 5, again, one-step equation. This is multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division. So we divide by the same number we're trying to get rid of to both sides of the equation. So negative 11 divided by negative 11 is just 1. Bring down your variable, just k, equals 22 divided by 11 is just 2, but since it's negative 11, it'll be negative 2. Square your answer. Let's say you do that one. Let's do 11. Let's do 11. All right, so like we did last time, there's multiple ways to do this, but the best way to do this is just to set it up as a fraction. So we're trying to get rid of 29. So the reciprocal of 1 over 29 will be 29 over 1. So let me kind of get rid of that one right there. So parentheses, now whatever we do to one side, we do to the other. So over here, it's going to be 29 over 1. Now we're going to make that 5 a fraction, right? And now with this, 29 divided by 29 is just 1. So all this becomes 1. You bring down your variable. A is equal to, now here, we just multiply it across. What's 5 times 29? Over here on the calculator, so on your right side, 5 times 29 is equal to 145. So on top here, it's going to be 145. And now, 1 times 1 is what? Just 1, right? 145 divided by 1. And then your final answer is A is equal to 145. Sometimes you will need a calculator. That's how you find those. Now, let's keep on going. So these are just practice. Let's see. Let's do 17, 19. So let's do 19, 17, 19 are kind of the same. These are still one-step equations, but we are trying to get x by itself. So plus 9, 9 minus 9 is 0. Bring down your x. 26 plus 9. So here, negative 26 plus 9. So the easiest way is to start with the positive. So you can go 9 minus 26 is going to be negative 17. So x equals negative 17. And you're done. So it's still one step. It's just the negatives confuse people. Now let's keep going. 25 has big numbers, so let's use big numbers. So 25 is just one step, but we have to divide by negative 84 to both sides. So negative 84 divided by negative 84 is just 1. You bring down your variable and equals, right? Sorry, it does that sometimes. And equals 168 divided by negative. So let's do 168 divided by 84. And it's 2. Look at that. But since it's a negative 84, it's going to be negative 2 as your answer. That's how you do that one. And now, the next one's two-step equations. Two-step equations. Again, if I'm going too fast, slow me down. Two-step equations. Now, what that means is it's going to be 2 steps to solve the problem. So let's do number one, right? So let's do number one so you guys can get an idea how it's going to be done. So the first thing, I want to isolate the variable. I want to isolate the letter A. So I have to subtract 2. I got to get 2 on both sides. So 2 minus 2 is 0. 6 minus 2 is 4. Right? So now I'm not done yet. So that was my first step, right? So I still have this here. So I want to bring that down. So I have A over 4 equals 4. Now, again, like we did last time, we have to multiply by the reciprocal of 1 over 4, which is just 4 over 1. Now, whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. Now here, make the 4 a fraction. And on the right side, 4 divided by 4 is just 1. So you have your A left over. Now, multiply across. 4 times 4 should be automatic, 16. All right, so here, 1 times 1 is just 1 equals to A over 1. What's 16 divided by 1 is just 16. A divided by 1 is just A. Here is my answer, 16. Okay. That's how you do that one. Now, number 3, it's multiplication now. So the opposite of multiplication is division. But again, I have to isolate my variable. That means get x by itself, get the variable, get the letter by itself. So I'm going to add 7 to both sides. So 7 minus 7 is 0. 7 minus 7 is 0. We bring down our number and letter. 9x is equal to 0. Divide by 9 on both sides. 9 divided by 9 is just 1. So then we're using x. 0 divided by 9 is, if you don't believe me, 0 divided by 9 on the calculator to your right is 0, right? Now, if it was the other way around, if the 0 was in the bottom, it will be undefined, but since 0 is on top, it becomes 0. So that is how you do number 3. Let's see. Let's do one with big numbers. Hopefully we get it right. Let's do 9. 9. All right, so again, number 9, we're gonna isolate the variable. So I have to give -1 to both sides. So 1 minus 1 is 0. -80 minus 1 is -81. So when you have the same signs, so when this is negative and this is negative, it just makes a bigger negative. So it's going to be -81. Now, I bring down my -9x. -9x is equal to -81. Now, I want to get rid of that -9. So this is being multiplied. So the opposite of multiplication is division. So I divide -9 to both sides. So -9 divided by -9 is just 1. So this becomes a 1. So then here, I'm left with my x equals negative divided by a negative is just a positive. So here, 81 divided by 9, 81 divided by 9 is equal to 9, right? So x equals 9. And that is how you do number 9. Let's do a few more examples. Let's see, 17. Yeah, let's do 17. It's a bit challenging. Let's take our time. All right, so now here, the first thing I want you guys to do is put parentheses, n plus 5. Now, the way we're going to get rid of -16 is by multiplying by its reciprocal. So 1 over -16 is just, right, I'm going to kind of write over this so you can see it. This is a parenthesis, so it's going to be -16 over 1, right? This is just a big parenthesis. And what do we do to one side? We do to the other side. Okay, so negative 16 divided by negative 16 is just 1. So all this goes away. So this goes away. And you're left with n plus 5. So I'm going to bring down n plus 5. So let's bring it down. So n plus 5 is equal to negative 1. So make that a fraction. Negative 1 times negative 16 is just positive 16. 1 times 1 is just 1. All right. So we don't really need that. 16 divided by 1 is just 16. So let's erase that. Now it's simple, right? Now it's a one-step equation. Isolate your variable n, so minus 5, minus 5. 5 minus 5 is 0. 16 minus 5 is 11. And then your answer is n is equal to 11. It looks complicated at first, but just breaking it down, it helps a lot. It really, really does. So now the next one, let's do the next one. Let's do 19. So with 19, it's just parentheses. So 19, you distribute, right? 10 goes here, 10 goes here. So I'm just gonna rewrite it. Negative 10 equals 10 times k is just 10k. 10 times negative 9 is just negative 90. So now I want to get rid of that negative 90, so I add the opposite to both sides. So 90 minus 90 is 0. 90 minus 10 is 80. And then I drop down my variable with a number, my 10k. And now I want to get rid of the 10. It's being multiplied, so I divide to both sides. 10 divided by 10 is just 1. 80 divided by 10 is just 8 is equal to k. That is how you do this one. Easy breezy, right? And pause if I'm scrolling too fast. Let's see, any more complicated ones? Okay, let's just do 23, just for fun, right? 23. Okay, so first things first, get rid of your 8. Minus 8 of both sides. 8 minus 8 is 0. 5 minus 8 is negative 3. All right, so then this right here, I'm gonna bring it down. So I have b over negative 4 is equal to negative 3. Now, again, I'm just gonna do the reciprocal. So negative 4 over 1 times negative 4 over 1. So make this one a fraction. So negative 4 divided by negative 4 is just 1. B, drop it down, equals, now negative 3 times negative 4 is just a positive 12. 1 times 1 is just 1. So your final answer here is B is equal to 12. All right, guys, and that is your examples for this worksheet. Hopefully you guys understand. If not, well, there's more to come. All right, guys.